Hi, my name is Vehara Abeygunawardana. I am part of the LGBTQI plus community. I identify as a non-binary pansexual. A typical day in my life would include waking up in the morning, usually like 9 a.m., not much of an early morning waker. I make myself a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, whatever's available, economic crisis and all. And then I start my work, checking emails, making sure that all of the things that I need to be done are in a list. So for work, well, to earn money, I work at a digital media agency called Mint Media. I am a content specialist and an account manager. That's like my 9 to 5 job. And then on the side, I am a human rights defender. I collect human rights cases against the LGBTQI plus community. I try to find them resources and get them help, whether it's legal, mental, and try to get them justice for, what all these various and horrible things that you get to hear that are done by the government or government officials. So that's a part of my activism. And then, of course, on my social media, I'm very vocal about queer mental health. That's something I think not a lot of people talk about, especially in this community. We tend to hold a lot of trauma inside us, and there's not a lot of resources and not enough conversation about it. So I always try to open up those spaces and try to start these conversations, which are sometimes difficult, of course. But you got to start somewhere. You got to start pushing the wrong buttons and making explode. I love speaking up for others, even if it's not necessarily for myself. So I thought, you know what? Why not use this for something good? Why not use it for the community? And I just want to make sure that it's a better generation for those that follow us. So growing up, I didn't have the most supportive environment. My father is homophobic, well, queerphobic in general, and there was a lot of things that happened that made me very afraid to come out, and also create this sort of internal homophobia. And since I am pansexual, non-binary, I always only showed the side of myself that was cis straight, and never, the part that I like girls, doing this to get attention or whatever. And there's all of these like cultural beliefs of like, according to, Sanskritya, and they're just holding on to just this colonial idea of tradition. And like, if you actually look at history, there's plenty of representation of queer people in palaces, in paintings, in scripts, in scriptures. We are there all throughout society, and the Brits and the Dutch and the other guys, they just came along and just erased us, and now we are the bad guys. So I've been doing theatre since like 2010. Started off as just, doing school plays and all of that. But through theatre, it was sort of a way of expressing parts of me that I had to keep hidden. And it was based on human rights cases that happened against the community. And we had such an enormous support from the crowd of like, people really being seen and heard. And, there were people coming up to me and saying, I couldn't tell my story, so I thank you for, being brave enough to go on stage and tell my story for me. I found this community of such strong individuals that have gone through so much, but still wake up every day, smile, and put on the most pizzazz they can and help everyone they meet. I found myself a queer family with like sisters and brothers and aunties and uncles, and it's so typical family. Like the only thing that separates us from normal families is we are not related by blood.